Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Last week I did a video on an unboxing of my July, a cherry on top, the cherry box. And I had promised to do a video on some things from the box, like kind of experimenting with some of the supplies I got. And I'll put a link to that video below so you can kind of see what's included in the box. Every month is different. But I really liked the supplies that I got. They kind of gave me a whole bunch of different things to use for journaling as well as for card making. And I thought I'd use some of the stencils in the box to do a project today. And I just want to show you really quick. In that box, there were these paper flowers from Prima. And this is a card that I did on a Cherry on Top's blog for their guest design spot for July. And I just wanted to show you how these flowers work on the front of a card. I really like the colors, and I was using kind of a muted design on this gray and white card that I had heat embossed using some stencils. But I added the flowers off to the side just to kind of decorate the sentiment, and I love the way it turned out because you get this pop of color against the very neutral background. And so I just wanted to show you, those are just some of the ways that you could use the flowers that were in the box. You get a huge pack of them, so definitely something that you can use for scrapbooking projects as well as cards. This is the container. They're Prima flowers, and there's also some striped ones and some blue, pink, just a nice color palette. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you that really quick, but let me go ahead and get started on one of the stencils that was included in the box. And you actually got 3, and they were from this Vicky Boutin color study. It was a set of 3 stencils, and I really was drawn to this circle stencil. I love anything with kind of like modern circles on it. So I had some ideas on using it for just a very nice clean background. And then also inside the box came these mica powders, which I have never used before. And it's recommended that you mix them into some kind of a paste, like a texture paste, or in my case, I have this embossing paste here. So I'm excited to try this. Embossing paste is it's kind of a thick white paste. You can get it in different colors as well. And sometimes with embossing paste, I like to add ink colors to it, like re-inkers, and make it into a colored paste that way. But this will be really fun to try the mica powders. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll get these mixed into the paste, and then we'll go ahead and start the project. So I just have a craft mat here that I'm going to use to mix up my products, and I'm going to take a big scoop of embossing paste with a palette knife and have that on the mat, and then I'm just going to mix in some of the purple mica powder. I'm starting off with a little bit, and then you can always add more as you want to add more color. So I'm just going to start out with a little bit, kind of mix it in, see what it looks like, and then go from there. It mixes in pretty easily. So like I said, I've mostly used re-inkers before to color texture paste, but this is kind of a different thing to try. I wanted to add a little bit of pearlescence to the paste. I always like that look. So I'm adding some pearlescent embossing powder to the mixture, and this just adds a little more kind of shimmer to it, and I love that look. It's not glittery, it's just kind of like just a frosty shimmer, and it looks so pretty with the purple. So I've got that all mixed in, and I'm ready to add it to my stencil. So I have my stencils layered on top of each other, the rectangle and then the circle. And I'm just going to spread the paste on top, and then spread everything around using an old gift card. And I like to use this because it helps everything get kind of even. You just want to cover up any open spaces. Make sure there isn't anything that you missed. And then I'm going to lift up the stencil, and you'll see it's got that nice outline from the rectangle and then the circle stencil inside. And with any mixed media, it's hard to avoid getting those little imperfections. So there's ways to cover it up, which I'll show you in a second, and you won't even notice that there was any little mistakes. But I love the way that the shimmer looks with the pearlescent paste. So then I went ahead and added my sentiment and a couple of flowers, and glued everything down, or adhered everything down to a white note card, and I've got flowers from Altenew and a sentiment from Waffle Flower, and I just heat embossed those flowers just kind of for a simple look, and I thought that looked really good with the card. So the next project, I'm using the same rectangle stencil along with some salvage patina Distress Oxide ink that I'm going to blend over the top of a card panel. And this is my favorite technique to use with stencils. I love ink blending with stencils. I just think it looks so clean and crisp, and you can use bright colors, and it looks really good. So I'm starting out with the rectangle that's going to kind of be my frame in the background. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to use my stencil on a smaller rectangle. So I just have a little cutout rectangle. I'm going to put the stencil over it and use some shaded lilac Distress Oxide over the top of that. And I'm kind of going heavy-handed with it because I love this purple. It's so pretty, and I just want a really crisp and clean, bright look to those circles. I want to just really bring out the circles. So that's all set. And ink blending you get very few mistakes with that. So it's a lot easier to work with, I think, than mixed media. But then for my rectangle, I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of the card panel, and I'm just going to put it on the front of a white note card. I'm just going to line it up. So I'll have that, and then I'm going to add my stenciled piece to the top of it with some foam tape. So I'm just going to pop it up right in the middle there. And I love the combination of the salvage patina with the shaded lilac. I think that's a pretty color combo. And then I'm just going to add a couple of little accents to it. I have a circle with the same waffle flower sentiment, along with some gemstones from the cherry box that came with the July box, and a really pretty kind of holographic gold gems. And I just thought those looked really good with the purple. So I added those, and the card's very clean and simple, but I really like it. So 2 really fun and different cards using the same stencil. It was a lot of fun to try something different with the mica powder. So thanks again for joining me today, and I will see you in my next video.